out. Okay, seems we are a go. There's a few things I'll have to update tomorrow. But for now, we are live. Hello's everybody. How is everybody doing today? How is everybody? Okay, let's pop up the chat window so that I can see everybody. Okay. That is functional. Okay, people. You can answer in the chat. I will answer your questions, your comments. I wish we could do super chats, but we are not there yet. Not by a long mile, but hopefully one day. So as you can see, it's not really a sunny day outside. Yesterday, the weather channel said that today was going to be the hottest day, the sunniest day of August. And I have to admit, last night it was very, very humid to sleep. And I did not really get a good night's rest because it was icky, sticky, and hot. And today I wake up to on and off rain. I was planning on doing some rust proofing on my truck today. I am somewhat having to rethink that. It is windy. It comes, it goes, it comes, it goes. So I'm not exactly sure if I will proceed or should I wait until this weekend. So I will look at the weather once more. Ooh, okay. Well, I know for you folks that isn't much, but it's currently 85 degrees of humidity. Yeah. We might have a few storms on the way, so that's not something we want to deal with. Other than that, okay, let's look here. Tomorrow's going to be light rain. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So in theory, next week we will still have a couple of nice days. Not so much over. Well, Saturday's supposed to be nice. I should, in theory, do it Saturday. There's only a 40% chance of rain. Definitely should do that Saturday. Okay then. The thing is that I don't have a very big compressor to do this, so a lot of the rust proofing will take time just for the air pressure to build up. Gone in 5 minutes, wait for it to build up. Gone in 2 minutes, wait for it to, and so on and so forth. Hey, Before the Hobbit, how are you today? You have no friends as well? Well, I can be your friend, your online friend. And I have a cat here. I think he's waiting at the door to come in. I'm not too sure because we can't see him, but we do see that the leash is there at the door. The other one's just happy to be. Okay, let me tell my. No, okay, he's looking elsewhere. No, he's looking inside again. And okay, let me go and deal with him. Okay, well, I guess both cats are in. So that's pretty much that for them. And in 2 minutes, they will want to go back out. I am just. There we go. And let's transition. So, okay, no more kitty cats in the yard. They are in the house and they will pretty much do whatever they want to do except going back out for now. For the next half hour, I will be here and hopefully they will cooperate, they will behave, which I highly doubt, but they keep me busy. Like, I have no friends in my immediate vicinity. I do have neighbors that I talk to and get along with and all that, but my cats are my babies and they are the only one that I can touch. As a human, is it normal to want to touch other humans? Is that a weird question? Is that a weird question? I mean, okay, little furry creatures, lots of fun, but humans, do humans need physical contact? I guess they do. I mean, it's pretty much what separates the dream world from the real world. You know, when somebody thinks they're dreaming, they're like, pinch me. And then that's when they know that they are alive. It is a weird phenomenon. Somebody needs to study that. Waiting for walking, talking robots? Well, we are pretty close to that. There was a. Let me see if I can find it. Android interview. Let me see if I can't do that. Strangely enough, I cannot find it. But not too long ago, there was an interview with robots, and obviously, the questions were pretty much script, and so were the answers, to the point that the interview was pretty boring. Fast growing human clones. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know about that either. When I was a kid, I was pretty much believing that the only way to get a soul was to be born in this world. Now, having said that, we are now making babies in aquariums. Well, I call them aquariums, but they are artificial wombs, which, okay, I will still call an aquarium for whatever reason it is. So, yeah. So instead of saying that only uh, born humans can have souls, I've now polarized myself to pretty much say that soul is a concept and nobody really has one. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I don't know about clones. I mean, in one hand, they should be spare parts. On the other hand, should we live longer than we are supposed to? That's another big debate. How long should we live? Like, we can live into our hundreds. Most do not, but there are some that reach 100 years old. Already, we are seeing that, people are pretty much stupid before the age of 30, and after the age of 30, it gets worse. So I kind of don't know. Androids are still not there yet, but I kind of do feel like probably they will be more reasonable. Like they will go with the statistics and not try to necessarily be greedy. Having said that, I don't know one day if AI, one is rusty, the other one is brand new off the factory. Will the rusty one try to steal parts from the one that's fresh off the assembly line just to prolong his life? Or will he just throw himself in this recycling bin to be able to be reused in the new models? I don't know that either. It will be interesting to find out what AI comes up with. Yep, pigs have been used to clone parts because apparently the pig is its DNA, it's very similar, close enough to the human DNA, which will offend a lot of people, especially Muslims that do not touch or eat or whatever pork. So that subject is a little bit taboo for a big portion of the planet. But cloning wise, science wise, people are having fun with that and creating spare parts, a lot of spare parts for. But should we? It's a good question. I don't know, and I don't know if I want to know. It's all very, very, well, it's not new. We've been talking about clones for over 40, 50 years now. And even stem cell research was at a time very taboo, and times have changed and science has progressed, I guess. The only thing is that I think that is a science that is going to favor the very rich. And is that what we want? Like disposable human workforce and the elite elites, you know? Like the top 100 people, richest people on the planet Earth will get to live and have spare parts for a very long time. But then again, what happens when the brain breaks down, dementia sets in, even if you have a good body, the brain might lose its function. Can the brain be cloned? Can memories be cloned? Like if we were to clone my brain as of this moment, would I'd be getting a fresh brain, but would it last another 50 years? I don't know. Or will it start to degrade right away like mine is, and as the age progresses, everybody runs a chance of getting some sort of disease or illness. And it is also pretty interesting because I am watching this show called Foundation, which is based on a novel. And in it, it is approaching pretty well since the beginning. It's been dabbing into these subjects where you have three rulers, dawn, day, and dusk. They are basically like, I think, the 14th, 15th, and 16th clone from the first emperor. And they keep cloning each other over and over again, and they let them from a young age to an old age. So you have three, ruling as once. Obviously, Day is the one that's primarily in charge, but his counsels from the younger himself and the older himself, so that they are always aware of what's going on. But they are basically clones of the first emperor, and they rule everybody else. And how could I say? They are the only ones able to use these clones. It's forbidden for anybody else to be using that technology. And also, they have a servant, if you want to call it that, which is a robot AI that never dies and always serves these three people. So I kind of really like that television series. Apple is doing a really good job with it. I'm having a lot of fun watching it. My only peeve is that I'm so hooked on the show that I am watching it as the show comes out, and it's once every week. So by this week, when the show comes out, I've already forgotten what happened 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yes, I'm getting that old. I even forgot what the show was like, 4 weeks ago. Whereas if it were to come out and I can binge watch it, I could have a better idea and retain more of the show that way in my old age. But on the other hand, I guess I will just have to rewatch it. But yeah, I am loving that show because they do dab a lot in this topic of clones. And is it good? The empire is crumbling. Why is it crumbling? I mean, if you, in theory, let's say the emperor is assassinated, well, then the entire society would change. So they are holding on to power in unnatural ways. Is it a good thing? I like the show a lot. It dabs in a lot of things. It also dabs that in the timeline, certain key moments can alter histories. So if you do one thing, society's going to lean one way. If you do another thing, society's going to lead into another thing. So basically, you can edit the timeline here and there to either make the empire progress or have it just cave in on itself. I like shows like that make you kind of think, but it is also entertaining because there's a lot of things happening, which is also really hard to follow. You have these beds where you can sleep for centuries, and It just so happens to be that you can have a daughter that's actually older than you because you've been frozen and sleeping in cryo space travel beds or things, so it's all over the place. It makes it for sometimes really hard to understand where the show is actually going on. But it's all debate and these theories, and maybe mankind is heading towards some of this. Very interesting stuff, and I am looking forward to it in a way. I don't know if in my lifetime we will see it, because strangely enough, when you reach 50, okay, yes, I could maybe live until I am 100. Therefore, I have as many years in front of me as I do in back of me. But generally, yeah, my better years are behind me. So, what is in store for mankind for my next 20, 30, 40 years? I don't know. It just seems that I've reached a part where there's fewer days in front than in back. And I'm already at a point where I'm forgetting days past. So, the nature of mankind is, strangely enough, not rock solid. We are biological entities, and we are far from being perfect. I've had a lot of fun in my life. I've had a lot of painful events in my life. It's been all over the place. It's been a life, and I have no idea what's in store for me. How do you feel? Like, the viewers that are around my age, how do you feel about life in general? Do you even think about it, or you just go and this is too complicated? I'll just work and work and work, make ends meet, and one day when I won't be able to do none of that will be my last day, you know? A lot of people are like that. A lot of farmers, they don't think about their life all that much. They just work all their life because it's all they know. And one day they find themselves in a hospital, which is sad, with a quality of life, a health that is rapidly failing. Medicine is keeping them alive a lot longer than maybe they would naturally. So I don't know if I want to spend my last year in a hospital being constantly reanimated. It's a touchy subject. Yep. Every day you wake up, hey, bonus. I got a bonus day on this planet. And that's something I didn't understand as a kid, how global the world was and how something halfway across the world will affect if I do have another day tomorrow. Yes, I grew up during the Cold War. And yes, at any moment we could have a nuclear holocaust, apocalypse event thing going on. But also growing up, you were like, well, if that happens, then there's no winners. So there's no reason to do that. And you figured that humans are the same all over the place. Then you get to be my age, and yes, everybody's the same, but everybody's also so different. And polarized views, complete polarized views. And you also see how some people behave like kids. So, yeah, we were lucky that nobody pushed the button 40 years ago, but There is no guarantee that it's not going to happen within the next second, minute, day. You remind me of Bill, good old days gaming. Hi, Vibra. I don't know who Bill is, but okay, if I remind you of him. Find the worst fence and find a neighbor with a bad story. Paint their fence for free. Well, yeah, everybody. There's a lot of people that have bad and sad stories. Unfortunately, here where I am, nobody has really a fence. This is, you know, I don't know. I know that, like in the States, there's this saying of the white picketed fence, where every little house has this little white fence in front of their house. We don't really do that here in Canada much. Not saying that there isn't certain cities or neighborhoods, but the majority, especially here in the country, here it is farmland, but it's not animal farmland. It's like corn and wheat and all these vegetable farms. So there's not really fences around them. Like in the States, yes, if you are raising bulls and cows and stuff, okay, you'll have a fence. But then it's a wired fence, and there's, again, nothing to paint there. And as far as sad stories, I don't know. I don't want to, other than the fact that once in a while I will share a story just to relate to the fact that we're all human. Not everything is always easy. But I don't want to concentrate too much on the sad stuff because that becomes depressing. And it's a vicious circle. So if you only have like bad thoughts, then it's a downward spirals. And the last thing I want is for people to, watch this show and decide to jump off a bridge. That would not be a good thing. Find the worst. Yeah. Iron rod fences are popular in New York County. I believe you. I believe you. Yeah, the forged steel things. Yeah. But yeah, we don't really have that here. And even in the big cities, like you'll have some stairs, and as a rail system to the stairs, yes, we will have these steel rod things. But out here in the country, not so much. And even my new neighbor here on the side that just bought the house, it used to be an old restaurant, and there was a big deck out in front, and there was like a fence all around it, a deck all around the deck, and he just tore that fence apart because it was old. The wood was rotten, so instead of putting in a new one, he's like, okay, no, I'll just have one big deck out front, and that's it. To which I kind of agree with that. Although now we have so many regulations, you're no longer allowed to do whatever you want to do in your own house. So maybe the city will say, well, it's dangerous because it's a foot high and people can fall down and trip and hurt themselves. So maybe we'll have to put a railing back there. Hopefully not. Hopefully I'm out in the country far enough that the municipality won't care about that kind of stuff. Yeah, and I can't really paint for all that long either. Okay, I'm up and down, up and down. Probably something I could do. But unfortunately, like I was saying earlier today, I was planning on rust proofing my truck, and it's been like light showers on and off, and it's windy, so it's not the ideal day. But I do have to do it because within the next 2 weeks, it's something that needs to be done. And I'm looking at the forecast, and today was supposed to be the sunniest and warmest day of August. And as you could see earlier, it's not really the case. It's very cloudy. We do have showers coming in and out. So, yeah. So the weather station lied to me. What a surprise. And actually, they don't lie. They don't know. Weather's always changing. I mean, I was watching a thing yesterday because Canada's trying to be very green. And, 60 to 80% of our fuel taxes have gone up just to try to save climate change. And I'm like, well, winter is coming. So what? Am I supposed to take an electric heater, plug it into a tree, and hopefully melt all the snow to prevent climate change? Because we don't want winter, we just want the constant climate all the time. Yeah. Well, if you look at this, Canada has this plan for the next 20 years. And our footprint, carbon footprint, will be such and such over the next 20 years. And unfortunately, China within the next year is going to do more carbon footprints than we will save within the next 20 years. So within 1 year, all the efforts that Canada would be doing over the next 20 years will be gone. So what does a green economy mean? It means making people poorer and then telling other developing countries that you're going to be poor because you're not allowed to have the quality of life that we had over the past 50 years or over the past 100 years or the past 200 years. No, you will have to stay poor to protect the planet, which makes no sense. So I am not happy with all of this climate change. Yes, there's forest fires, Hawaii. You look at Hawaii, you're looking at the sandstorms in Morocco, you're looking at all these, but we've always had these things. The desert is engulfing Africa, and we've known this for many, many years. We've known of the solution to do this, and strangely enough, the solution came from Japan. Planting bamboo forests on the coast, on the east coast of Africa, would have prevented all this sand being blown from the ocean all across the continent. We've never done that. They've never done it. They don't want to do it. So, if you know what the solution is, you don't want to do it and then just complain of climate change, it makes no sense. So, yeah, if we're wanting to keep the planet poor, so we need to stop, splitting ourselves and dividing ourselves with issues. We need to listen to some music and dance and hold hands, unite, and start thinking with our heads in a reasonable, mature way. and stop being fanatics about everything and finding a solution to every problem. Not a perfect, there is no perfect solution to any problem, especially when it relates to the planet and to humankind. But we need to find a balance. I mean, we had balance throughout the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, for the most part in North America, where yes, we had poor people, we had less poor people, we had, a medium class, a richer class, even more richer class. Now we are in a very divided, very rich, and everybody else is pretty much poor, and we're fighting over scraps. I mean, today you can earn like 100,000 a year and still be considered poor and fighting for scraps because of all kinds of reasons. You have two ex-wives that you need to pay alimony to, and kids, and oh, man, everything is so expensive that the money, whatever money you make, it's already gone. So I don't know where all of this is heading, but yeah. Will the clones do a better job? Will the androids do a better job? At my age, will I see any of this? I don't know. Gene Roddenberry, the guy who created Star Trek, had this vision of the future, and yeah, he already passed away. He never got to see Windows 10. It's, was it all that good? Was it worth it? Is this the future? They Shoot Horses, don't they? It's my favorite movie of all time. I have not seen that movie. I don't know if I even want to see a movie with that title. It kind of creeps me out. I like animals. Yes, I eat meat. Then again, I saw another YouTube yesterday that if we want to save climate change, we need to stop eating meat. Yeah, tell that to the lions. Tell that to the hyenas, and tell that to the bears. And, you know, there's a reason why it's part of our diet. It's because that's what's been keeping us alive over the past 10,000 years, or how many so years that mankind has been on this planet. I mean, it's nice to think that you can eat bananas in and out every day, but I think we need a little bit more than bananas. But hey, if bananas is all we needed as a diet, then hey, whatever works. But I don't think so. I'm saying bananas because, yes, monkeys kind of are related to humankind. But I think I also remember them taking a stick and going in trees and eating ants. So the fact that we think that they only eat bananas is not true. They find protein in just about anything around them. And then eating ants, I mean, it's another life form, so you are killing another life form even though they're insects. Like I said, there's no magic solution, but we kind of do have to compromise and find something that's balanced. And we need to talk about it to find that balance. find some way of talking to each other and finding some middle ground, whether that is just to agree to disagree. So, okay, I got a few things I got to do today. So, for now, I think my noon show is pretty much done with. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please like and smash that subscribe button. It would really help out the channel. People don't know how much that is important because, every time you smash the like or you put a comment, it exposes my video to another 10 people. And maybe one of those 10 people are the ones that will also comment and like my videos, which will expose it to another 10. It's a domino effect, and that's how the algorithm works. So it's always appreciated, whatever anybody can do. And be safe out there. It's a very strange world we live in. And hopefully we all get to see another day. Until then, yeah, be safe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Uh, whether it is on Twitch, YouTube, come and talk to me in Discord. The links are in my profile. It's easy to find. And I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you again so much.